friends, Andy Vegan. A late night movie here, a video. I make a chocolate cake and a chocolate pie and two kinds of chocolate, black and white chocolate. So then I will do it usually at night because I have to wait overnight to get it firmed up, to make the photos. So I wait overnight and then in the morning I can just take it out of the fridge and it's ready, it's done. So now I begin, as usual, with a crust. I have here a food processor fitted with the S-blade. That is for the almonds. The almonds go in there first. I have 2 cups almonds here. The quantity, 2 cups, is usually what I use, more or less, for this kind of springform. Yeah, that is not even 20 centimeters, it's 17, 18 or so, and is lined with parchment paper. It's a very good form. Yeah, it is very easy to get the cake out of it. It's wonderful. I found it's very good to have a little bit more expensive forms. I had very cheap ones before, but then they begin to dissolve here. Yeah, this dissolves the metal, and then the metal touches the cake and the filling, and that can taste like metal then, and it turns dark on. So with these a little bit more expensive, it's much better. Yeah, I'm so glad to have them now. It's not that much expensive, but I would highly recommend that you get a springform, get a good one. Really, it makes it is so worth it. So I begin to process the almonds all by themselves, and later I add the dates to get sticky dough. Just a moment. This is the coarse meal. See, from 2 cups almonds, you have this kind of coarse meal. And to do it without the almonds before makes it easier to get it finer. Yeah, if I put the dates in immediately, these are 12 dates or so, 12 or 13 small dates. Depends how sweet you want it. More dates and softer dates. Is it easier to get a sticky dough? Gets faster sticky. But that depends on, you can take less or more dates, then it takes a little bit longer. With less dates, doesn't matter. And it's a little more sweet now, with 15 dates or so. And I have a tablespoon of cinnamon that adds a nice flavor. You can take other flavors too, or do it without. Doesn't matter. I like a cinnamon a little bit with the sweet, just a little bit. Yeah. So and I now process it until I have a sticky dough. This is my sticky dough. It took me about 2 minutes, not even 2 minutes, almost 2 minutes to get this texture. I show you what it means to me, sticky dough. I press the dough together and it sticks together. That's a sticky dough, you see? And that is because of the dates. And at a certain point, the oil begins to come out of the nuts. But you don't want to get that far. You don't want to have too much oil coming out of the nuts. Then the sticky dough would be too firm, too sticky. And it's nicer to have a little bit more fluffy. It's my idea of a dough, of a crust, but it's also up to you. I just, if it's a little bit of stickiness, it's enough to stick together, and then it's enough to me. So I put now everything into the springform. And first I spread it evenly, determining the shape of the crust. And then I begin to press it down. Once the shape is there, it's just a simple crust, a simple bottom here, flat, not coming up the sides. I don't do that now. It's a little bit more difficult, but here for this cake, very simple. And then I begin to press it down with a fist, yeah, with the knuckles here. And then more and more weight goes on. I always turn it around like this, the best way. And when I'm done, I come back and show you what it looks like. This is my crust. It's nice and thick crust. Yeah, it's a dessert by itself. This crust is pretty firm, and it keeps together when I cut a piece out of the cake, as should. Now I have 2 layers of chocolate, and one is white and one is dark, and I make it very simple. I have bananas here, 2 bananas. Yeah. You can take 3. Yeah. The more bananas you take, the softer it gets. The bananas, the chocolate is a little bit more creamy then. And I have cashews to give a little bit firmness. I have not even a cup of cashews. It's a small cake today. Chocolate, that's not even a cup. That's a maybe 3/4 of a cup or so cashews. They go with the bananas. And the bananas are also in there very practical because you cannot blend cashews all by themselves. You have to put a little bit of water in or so. But with the bananas, you don't need no liquid. That's good for the chocolate, of course. The flavor, everything. Now, let her dance to make the banana cashew cream. Easy step to make a chocolate like that. It is fluffy and a little bit sweet because of the bananas, and then the cashews have also a certain kind of sweetness. I show you what it looks like. The banana cashew cream is a wonderful cream. It's not too much, as I said. It's a small layer of white chocolate, and most important for a chocolate is of course cacao butter. That makes the chocolate firm, that makes the cream firm. And I have just 1/3 of a cup, maybe not even 100 grams of chocolate, of cacao butter. And it's a water bath with hot water. And on top I have these little pieces here, little containers that take on the heat and make it melt very quickly. So first I blend the cacao, the cream, the nuts and the bananas, yeah, and then I put in the cacao butter because, I do it before, there's a chance that the cacao butter ends up at the sides of the blender, and then you lose all of the cacao butter. And it's so very important, the cacao butter, the most important ingredient. And with this, the blender is already covered, lined with the cream, so I'm pretty sure that all of the cacao butter ends up in the cream as should. Let's see. So that's all. Yeah, that's my white chocolate here, as you can see. It's a wonderful cream. I will just, the fragrance is so wonderful. That is, of course, chocolate, we all know that, is wonderful in cold days. It makes you really warm, warms you up. It's so nice, and it's also a nice smell, and you have this fragrance. It smells like warm, like an oven. It's a wonderful warming smell already. I love it. So I put that now from this blender into the form, or my cream here. I don't need to cleanse the blender because the same base is also for the dark chocolate. In a moment I will show you. First I get out as much as I can here, and then I go to the next step. Yeah. But before I do that, so I have a choice now. Yeah. I spread it evenly to the sides, yeah. And now I have a choice. I can make a trick. I can put the dark chocolate right on top of this. You see this beautiful cream already. It's firming up already, but it's still pretty runny. So what I could do now, I could make the dark chocolate and pour it right over there. Then it would mix a little bit. So that's up to you if you put it on top, or if you allow the two creams to mix a little bit. You can also make it nicer with forms or so. Today I decided to make it 2 different fillings, 2 layers, and that's why I put that before I make the other dark chocolate. Put that into a freezer for a moment. And I come back in a moment and I tell you how much time it was. and then I make the dark chocolate. See you in a moment. So maybe 10 minutes or so in the freezer. My freezer is pretty cold, and that is enough to have it a little bit firm up. You see, it is not very firm now. It needs to sit overnight to get really like cutting a piece out of it that holds. But for now, to put the second layer, or the third layer as you want with the crust, that is enough. So I have still my blender, the same blender, and I have the same procedure as before. I have the same amount of bananas. And as I said, you can vary. If you put more bananas, it gets sweeter and a little bit creamier, and so on. And a little bit more cashews this time. It's a dark chocolate. I want to have a little bit more firmness in the dark chocolate. I had a little bit more cashews. It's almost a cup. And again, I do the same as before. I begin to blend the cashews with the bananas. Doesn't need to be the perfect blending because I have to blend it anyway. Again, because now I put in, you'll see it is a little bit more than before, but not a lot. But here the sides of the blender are lined again with the cream, so the cacao butter will not end up on the sides of the blender. When that happens, the cacao butter, it sticks to the blender, gets cold, and you'll get it off again. So it does not go into the cream. That's the thing. So now here I have 2 tablespoons of cacao powder. It's not really dark chocolate because I have a lot of cashews in there and bananas. That makes it still a light chocolate, but it is darker than the white chocolate. So it's a brown chocolate. Put the cacao powder in. I put a little vanilla in. Yeah, a teaspoon of vanilla. Vanilla is very expensive these days. The price is tripled or even more. Very bad, because of bad harvests, and how I have seen a documentation of that, and it takes, and the market always goes up and down. We have these complications with climate, and all of the market has its own volatilities. So especially with the vanilla crisis, so the prices are very high now. I take it very little and scarcely now because it's so expensive. I love vanilla, but we have to wait a little bit until the prices comes down, but they will come down. Probably eventually, I guess. I hope soon. So there's the same as before, the same amount of cacao butter here. I have here again another water bath, and again 1/3 of a cup cacao butter. And usually they sell the cacao butter in blocks, and firm blocks like a little stone. And I put it on the cutting board and take a chef's knife and scrape it down to have a little powder. It's very easy. It is not difficult. But that makes it easier to melt it. Yeah? Here on the water bath, if you put a whole piece of cacao butter, a firm piece, into the water bath or on top, it takes longer to blend, to melt. That's the why I make it into small pieces before. So now I put that on top, and let's see what happens. Another blender dance. Wait a second, I will scrape the sides down, help it turn over a little bit, because it has been thrown to the sides. Make it just a little bit more. Looks nice though, but no, I want it even. I want to have a simple, easy, homogeneous texture, so I just help it come down. It's very normal with the blenders. They put everything to the sides. How easy it is to make your own chocolate. Yeah? And you can take anything. You can take dates instead of bananas. Maybe you don't like the flavor of bananas, take dates. Yeah, perfect for cacao. Take other nuts. You can take macadamia nuts or Other nuts might end up to be a little bit too firm, and macadamias also get creamy, they're a little bit firmer. But when you have almonds, for example, that can be a little bit more firm and stay a little bit chunky. So that's up to you. But I prefer cashews. Oh, look at that. Look at the chocolate cream here. Ah, it's so awesome. There are so many ways. You could also take even avocados, yeah, to get the, instead of the dates, instead of the bananas, or instead of the cashews or the nuts. It's also okay. A cacao cream, chocolate cream on the base of avocado, also very nice. All have different flavors, yeah, but cacao is very versatile. You can use it in many, many ways. And what I'm doing now is I take out as much as I can from this blender. This also depends on the blender you have, if it's easier or not so easy to get everything out. Because some blenders are small and narrow around the blades, then it is harder. It's not that easy to get the scraper into the blades and to get all these thick creams out of the blender. This blender has an advantage. It is a little bit more large around the blades. That's also a reason why I bought it. So when you get a new blender, you can have this question in mind. Is there space around the blades or not? It's one helpful question for blenders. It's not an unimportant one to me. So now this one, I see already. There are two layers now. The first layer with the white chocolate is moving a little bit around, but it doesn't really mix up with the dark one. And that's all I need now. I want it. And if there's a little bit of mixture, it doesn't really matter. I show you in a moment what I have. It looks wonderful, beautifully. The vanilla flavor is over there. Yeah. It's a very precious material, ingredient, cacao, all these things. So I don't want to waste anything. And that's what I have now. Beautiful. So this is my white and black chocolate pie. See, so now this is really still runny a little bit. I have to be careful that it stays even. So we put a little foil on top, yeah, to keep the water from coming up. Otherwise, without the foil, I end up, when it comes out of the fridge in the morning, with puddles on the top. I will show you later. For now, I say bye, and I see you in a second for me tonight. Here again. The next day, I think it is nice. It's firm. Here I show you the beautiful surface, and you can see with the foil here what I meant. It's the foil, and now I can pull it off. Very easy, and you see no puddles, nothing, a very nice surface. And without that foil, it would have been puddles now, yeah, little puddles, and it wouldn't look so nice. I mean, it's not the world, yeah, but still, it's nicer without. And I can keep this and put it back on top. When I take out a piece and put it back in the fridge, I have the foil still ready, so I don't waste it immediately. So at least, as long as the cake lasts, the foil will last. So here, I open it now, open the ring form, the spring form, and I see, yeah, I need a little bit of a knife to drive around the cake, to loosen it a little bit, and there it is, there we go. See, this is my black and white chocolate cake. Well, black and white a little bit overdone, but here, you see the different chocolates, the two different layers? Isn't that nice? I will cut out a piece, beautiful, and show you what a piece looks like. I haven't seen one either. So I just take the knife, the same knife, and push down in the middle to the bottom. Yeah. Whoops. Now it's easy to cut. Chocolate cakes are easy to cut. That is a good thing. Wow, I thought it easy. Yeah, just put it down. That's easy. Wow, yeah. The small piece I only need. Chocolate is very rich, so I need a small piece only. The friends that come, they will say, give me an even smaller one. I know some of them are really picky, but this one would be my size, I guess. So I would like to take this one. Oops. What do you say? Isn't that a nice chocolate cake? See? Double chocolate cake. That's it. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoy. If so, give me a thumbs up. Subscribe MD Vegan on YouTube. Have another recipe every single day. And you find all kinds of recipes there. All raw. It's my specialty. But later I will come with some cooked ones, for sure. Now I have a raw line that is for my new book. Yeah, it's Take 3 will be the name. It's almost done. And I show how to systematically approach this. I have a variety of all my recipes there, a choice, maybe 120 or so. You will see something about veganism too, a little bit, some theory, but all kept very practical. So, and you can also find me on Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest, and Twitter. I hope to see you soon. Hey, this could be it for tonight. For the afternoon, maybe. Double chocolate cake, wow, a little book at the side, an espresso or so. What do you need more? That's what I would say. How about you?